You're listening to the WBT Podcast with Micah Lodge. Listen to all of our podcasts at www.wbtpod.com. Stay informed. Let's get started.
This is brought to you by Lodge & Co., a business and tax advisory firm where your success is our goal. Call us today toll-free at 888-681-1518 or visit us at www.lodge-co.com and learn more about what we can do for you. Lodge & Co., your source for sound business and tax services.
And welcome to the WBT. This is Michael Lodge. I'm so glad that you've joined me. So I'm here again. I'm the reminding guy. I'm the guy that's got to come on line every single day and talk to you and remind you that if you are on a tax extension to file your tax returns, you have until October 15th. Do you know how long October 15th is? How far away it is? It's not far away at all. It's very close. So if you have not filed your tax returns, get it done. Because, you know, if you owe taxes, those penalties and interest continue on. It doesn't stop any penalties and interest. Okay, an extension does not stop penalties and interest. They keep accumulating from April 17th. So if you haven't done it, you got to do it because you are going to pay something. If you owe money to the tax guy, it's going to cost you. If you haven't filed it, if you're on extension and you do not file it by October 15th, and if you've got prior years that you haven't filed, let's get it done, okay? Because, again, those penalties and interests are accumulating. If you need help, if you need your taxes prepared, call our office at 888-681-1518, and one of our tax practitioners will help you get up to date. But you have until October 15th, midnight, so you better get it done. Also, those individuals who own businesses, if you have not started to prepare your financial statements, don't be idiots. You've got to get those done. Sit down with your tax practitioner or your accountant and get those financial statements up to date so you can make changes. You can eliminate things that should not be there to clean it up. You only have 3 months until the end of the year. 3 months, 1, 2, 3. That means that you need to have all of your bank accounts reconciled with your financial statements. You just cannot produce a number if you do not reconcile with your bank statements. First thing that a IRS agent will do when they come and talk to you on an audit, please provide me with all of your bank statements and financial statements, and they've got to tie. And they've got to be able to explain them very carefully. So I'm telling you, if you own a business, and if you haven't started to prepare your financial statements, we can do that for you. Just call our office at 888-681-1518, and we service all of the United States, so we can do this anywhere. And we can even have you look at the financial statements online with our secure systems. But listen, you need to get it done. Don't wait until the very last minute. If you wait until the last minute and the tax practitioner has to do it, your fee is going to be very high. Come on, you guys. If we're going to own a business, the financial statements are very important to our businesses. And we need to know where we stand at any given moment. And we also need to know that our financial statements are clean. Everything has been reconciled. Everything has been tied out. Things have been eliminated that should not be appearing on your financial statements, etc., etc. I mean, there's a whole bunch of things that need to be done. It's not just writing it on a piece of paper and handing it to your tax practitioner. If your If your financial statements are not clean, and you put an unclean financials onto your tax return, and if you're audited, you are going to pay. So I push you guys, and I've talked about this so many times about how important it is to have good financial statements. Not just for yourself to know where you stand, but also that you are prepared for anything that comes your way. you're ready, you have good financial statements so that when you go to your tax practitioner, you give it to him and he's ready to go, or she's ready to go. If an auditor comes in, you're ready to go. You've got all the documentation ready to prove your numbers. The burden of proof is on you, not the IRS. So get it done. Again, call our office if you need help, 888-681-1518. Now, the other issue that I need to address with you is on your savings. I think the average savings, the number that I saw in Money Magazine this week was that most Americans now have become savings knowledgeable. In other words, they're really focused on that. They're putting money away for an emergency. They're doing better. I think the average is about $16,000. I take that back. Between $4,000 to $16,000. And still, but the problem is that a lot of Americans out there, if an emergency came up for $400, they don't have anything set aside. They're literally living from paycheck to paycheck to paycheck. So I encourage you to continue your savings, and if you can get into some savings plans where you're putting money away, and if you've got that special bank account that's put aside for emergencies, start with $500 and then put in another $500 to make it $1,000 and build it up. So just in case the car breaks down, you've got the cash to pay for it. Or in case you need medication, the cash is there to pay for it. So I really want you to focus the remainder of this year of 2018 that you need to focus on your savings structure, your savings plans that you have in place. Encourage your children to do it. I remember when I was young, I don't know if they still do this in school, but when I was young, there was a bank that would come to our school, and this is when I was in grade school. I think I was like in 2nd and 3rd grade. And we would take our money, and I think I had $100. I think I had saved up $100. I don't know how I did it. And you could put it in your own private bank account. I was so excited because now I was able to save, and so they would come. I think once a week they came, or once every 2 weeks. We would have our little passbooks, and we would fill in the amount, and the banker would stamp it to verify that the money was there. And we were taught to save at a very early age. Just 1 second. I'm sorry, I thought I was going to sneeze. And nothing materialized, so I'm sorry about that. I had to stop the podcast just for my sneeze. I have so much pollen here at the moment in South Carolina. I'll be so glad when I get back to Los Angeles because I don't have this allergy issue that I have in South Carolina. I don't have the same allergy issue in California. My nose is a California, Los Angeles nose, so it's used to pollution. It's not used to this. It's not used to this pollen that we have out here in South Carolina. So I am sneezing really badly at the moment. But anyway, getting back to savings. I encourage every single one of you, get your children to think about savings. Create a little bank account for them so that they can start putting money into it. Sometimes when kids get money now, they think, oh, what game can I buy? What can I buy? I remember I was able to save up enough money, and this was when I was a kid. I was able to save enough money in my bank account to buy one of those. And once again, I came to buying, right, because I'm a kid. I was a kid at that time. I was able to buy one of those little televisions that had a battery on it that I could watch television in the car as we traveled. And let me tell you, back then, my dad loved road trips. And we went one Saturday, he said, let's go for a drive. And we ended up in Nevada. And so I said, you know what, if my dad is going to take me on these drives, on these road trips, I'm going to be prepared. But I also remember that on that road trip, I was able to save those silver dollars. Remember when the casinos gave out silver dollars, and when you went to a hotel, they gave out silver dollars? I was able to save up those silver dollars, and I was able to put them in my bank. And I saved money. Because every place you went, they gave silver dollars. No matter who you were, they gave you a silver dollar. Save. Begin a savings plan for your children. Get them ready. Get them going. I tell you, it's really, I found it, maybe I was a nerd, which I am sometimes, but I loved the fact of savings. When I was a little kid, I was so proud that I had a bank account. And I would brag to my cousins and my friends. I'd say, you know what, I have a bank account. Now, what would be really cool now, if I was a little kid, if I had a bank account and I had a debit card, my gosh, I would be the cat's meow. Start teaching your children to save. It's vital. Again, so let's wrap this up, because this is going to be a short podcast today, but I want you to, if you're on extensions for your tax returns, get them done. Call our office at 888-681-1518, and we can prepare them for you. If you have not started working on your financial statements, again, call us. We can help you. 888-681-1518. And I want you guys to really start focusing on your savings and build it up. If you need to take on some side hustles, do it. Because you need that money in case you ever fall without a job, or if you ever fall into a situation where there's medical things that need to be covered, or even cars that break down in the middle of the road and you need to tow it. Have some money set aside as an emergency fund. But save, save, save. Okay, this is Mike Lodge. I will talk with you soon. If you have a question, send it to me at mlodge@lodge-co.com, and I'll be more than happy to answer your questions. If I don't know the answer, I will find the answer for you. Everyone, go out and have a great day. I'll talk with you soon.
Thank you for listening to the WBT with Michael Lodge. Join us again tomorrow as we explore more about business and taxes. Follow us on iHeartRadio and go to our podcast website at www.wbtpod.com and listen to all of our podcasts and read our blogs.
World of Business and Taxes on WBT.
This is brought to you by Lodge & Co., a business and tax advisory firm where your success is our goal. Call us today toll-free at 888-681-1518 or visit us at www.lodge-co.com and learn more about what we can do for you. Lodge & Co., your source for sound business and tax services.